Hello, and thank you for joining us on CBS 8. I'm Heather Myers, and here at CBS 8, we are working for you and getting to the bottom of problems you've asked about. We're looking for solutions. We begin with the city of San Diego's efforts to fix the streets. According to a recent pavement condition report, San Diego's road rating has now dropped from satisfactory to fair. The city also claims nearly $2 billion is needed to improve the conditions of those roads. CBS 8's Steve Price is working for you and attended a meeting this week where plans were discussed.
City leaders meeting today to talk about their new pavement condition report, which shows the city's overall score has dropped from satisfactory down to poor, with several roads scoring below a 10 on a 100-point scale.
A total need of $1.9 billion is needed over the next 10 years.
The city's transportation department manager throwing out big numbers to fix our streets. And that's not to make them perfect. That's just to get them back up to an overall rating of satisfactory.
That's a really big price tag. We're going to have to make some very fiscally responsible decisions here as we try to get the roads into as good shape as we can.
Councilman Stephen Whitburn is chair of the committee that oversees transportation issues. And when it comes to where to go from here, they've hit a bump in the road. The council with 3 options, and none are going to make everyone happy. Fix the worst roads first, which is the most expensive option. Fix the roads that impact the most people, which is also expensive but not as bad. Or do what's called the best value plan, which fixes roads that are bad but not horrible and will get the city back to that satisfactory level at the lowest price.
We as a city council want to take a deep dive and make sure that we're doing the right thing to address our roads going forward.
The city seems to be favoring the best value plan, but working for you, we combed through an analysis report from the Office of the Independent Budget, which states it is concerning that over the next 10 years, there appears to be no plan for addressing failed streets. Bottom line, there are equity concerns, as many of the worst streets are in the least affluent communities. But city leaders say they will make sure all districts see improvements.
Every single district in this city has roads that are not as good as they should be. I can tell you that every constituent in every district knows that and will share that. And our job is to try to make as many improvements as we can in as many districts as possible.
Today's presentation before the council was only for informational purposes. At this point, no final decisions were voted on. Working for you in downtown, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Steve, thanks. What was supposed to be part of the solution to the city of San Diego's homelessness crisis is turning into what some say is a real eyesore near Balboa Park. CBS 8's Brian White working for you to find out if the money spent on a so-called tent city is making a difference in helping people get off the streets.
CBS 8 was there when the city set up these 2 safe sleeping sites, one at 20th and B Street and the other at the O lot near the edge of Balboa Park by the Naval Medical Center.
This weekend, we will be ready to welcome unsheltered San Diegans here, getting them off the streets, connected to services, and on a path to permanent housing.
That was last year with the brand new tents you see here, and this is what the safe sleeping sites look like now. The tents a bit faded from the sun as you might expect, and some have blue tarps draped over them. But there's a reason for that.
The reason that people are seeing tarps over the tents is the tents leak. Condensation gets in them.
Janice Wilds is an outreach specialist for the nonprofit Housing for the Homeless. She's been to the site and knows people who are staying there.
These tents faded quickly, and when that fading happens, the fabric deteriorates and you get more leakage. So people need some kind of shade over the tent.
I reached out to the nonprofit Dreams for Change, which the city contracts with to run these sites for more than $1.5 million per year. They deferred me to the city for any comment.
We've seen it reaching people who are hesitant to accept other shelters, like people who may say no to congregate shelter. They're saying yes to safe sleeping.
Matt Hoffman is a spokesperson for the city. He says between the 2 sites, 458 people are currently staying there. And since opening, they've connected 28 people to some form of long-term housing.
Getting people out of that crisis care cycle, so getting them to a place where they can relax a little bit, start to get connected to services, that's what these safe sleeping sites do.
So with these sites in enforcement of the unsafe camping ordinance, are we seeing a difference? According to a March 21st census by the San Diego Downtown Partnership, the tally of street homelessness downtown fell to 809 people, the lowest it's been in 3 years. While nearly 500 people are using these safe sleeping sites, Jenna says more work needs to be done.
More people are falling into homelessness than are exiting homelessness. This is a housing access disaster that San Diego's in. We can't keep doing things the same way.
In downtown, working for you, Brian White, CBS 8.
Well, we've received a lot of questions about an announcement from State Farm. California's largest home insurance provider announced that it would discontinue coverage for tens of thousands of policies this summer. This week, State Farm released more information, including the insurance policies being dropped for people living in 50 San Diego County zip codes. State Farm blames the decision on inflation, regulatory costs, and increasing risks from catastrophes. Some of the top local zip codes include Rancho Santa Fe, Jamul, Tierra Santa, and Lakeside. We're working for you and tracked down an insurance industry expert who says homeowners should not wait until this summer, and they need to start looking for alternatives right now.
Replacement coverage, as you probably know, is very hard to come by. If you find something that you can get right now, don't wait for your policy to be non-renewed. Take that new policy. You can either have duplicate coverage or you can just cancel the State Farm policy early.
Okay, so you just heard from an expert there. By the way, if you would like to see a full list of impacted zip codes, visit CBS8.com and click on this story. For the first time ever, the United States is setting a standard on the amount of so-called forever chemicals allowed in our drinking water. These dangerous man-made substances found nearly everywhere in the air, water, and soil get their nickname because they can take thousands of years to break down. CBS 8's Richard Allen is working for you. He spoke with the County Water Authority about how prevalent these chemicals are in our water supply here in San Diego.
You can't smell these chemicals. You can't taste them, you can't see them.
But these chemicals still pose significant health risks at extremely minuscule levels. In fact, the EPA says there is no safe level of exposure to PFAS without risk of health impacts, which can include cancer, liver problems, increases in cholesterol, and decreased fertility, as well as health issues for pregnant women and infants.
PFAS are called forever chemicals because no one has been able to measure their half-life in the environment. They don't occur naturally, and so nature has not come up with a way of breaking them down.
Here in the San Diego region, where most of our water comes from the Colorado River, these so-called forever chemicals have not been detected as a problem, according to the County Water Authority. Instead, it's primarily an issue for communities that get their drinking water from groundwater sources. The Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, for instance, which provides water for 19 million people in 6 counties, has been monitoring for PFAS since 2013 and has not detected any of the 6 PFAS chemicals that are regulated. In the meantime, while monitoring has not yet begun at the Carlsbad desalination plant, it uses reverse osmosis in its treatment process, which effectively removes PFAS. This interactive map, produced by the nonprofit Environmental Working Group, lets users track possible PFAS contamination anywhere in the U.S. Researchers and scientists are hopeful these new federal standards will improve health outcomes nationwide in the face of the current risks.
The untold billions of dollars of health that this is going to, ill health is going to cause, is what you're trying to avoid in our children, our grandchildren.
So these changes will not be immediate. Public water utilities nationwide will have 3 years to test for PFAS pollution, and then an additional 2 years after that to treat any possible contamination. Still ahead, we have an update on when San Diego's first Cannabis Lounge will open and where. Plus, living above the ocean sounds like a dream, but for some condo owners in Ocean Beach, it's turned into a nightmare how they are trying to stop their homes from falling into the water. And don't forget, we want to look into some of the issues affecting you and your community. Email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Welcome back. We want to update you now on a story that we have been following in National City. We got an update this week from the people behind what we expect to be San Diego County's first Cannabis Lounge. The 16,000 square foot 2-story building can be found where California College San Diego was previously located. They hoped to open this spring, but now they're targeting November. Not everyone, though, was a fan of the new business. We spoke with National City Councilman Jose Rodriguez about what has been done to address concerns. He says they purposely picked a location away from homes.
We do anticipate a lot of foot traffic, not just from National City residents, but throughout the region. So we see that as a positive. It is a lounge that will be located west of the 5 freeway and really kind of away from the neighborhoods, and that is a positive as well.
No alcohol will be served on site, but you can expect some food options. In Ocean Beach, a condo owner is worried that his building will soon fall into the ocean. The owners tell us the condo complex is secure, but the land the city owns next to it is not. Steve Price is working for you and digging into who's responsible.
This sign perfectly explains the problem. Unstable cliffs, danger, stay back. But what does that all mean for the owners of this condo complex? They're worried their homes could one day end up in the ocean. Every time the water hits these rocks, owners at the Oceana condo complex in Ocean Beach are hit with a wave of concern.
The fear is that our buildings are going to fall into the ocean.
Russ Rasmussen owns a condo in the 13-unit complex. He says the HOA spent over $1 million to build a seawall several years ago, which has held, and they fortified the cliff with riprap. But he says the city's land next to it is causing new concerns.
Our land is secure. It's the city land that has eroded and has caused the undermining, the danger to our property.
It's happening at the end of Bermuda Avenue, and Russ thinks the road is in trouble too.
At some point, the street's going to collapse.
Working for you, we reached out to the city of San Diego on this situation, and they don't agree with Russ's assessment on blame, stating the private property owner, Oceanus, has been made aware that this condition is their responsibility. The statement goes on to say that the property was recently examined and there is no imminent hazard to the residents. But they also noted that erosion is ongoing, so any mitigation measures elected by the private property owners should be implemented as soon as possible to avoid further erosion, creating a hazard to occupied structures. No further action will be taken by the city at this time.
I would not stand right on that edge there.
Geologist Pat Abbott says with sea levels rising, we're going to see this same concern play out all over the coastline. And it's not a matter of if buildings will fall, but when.
When you look at the rock that the condos are built on here, this is young rock. It's only thousands of years old. It's weak. It's the kind of thing ocean waves could just tear apart with ease.
The owners are planning to reinforce their cliff again, and it's not going to be cheap.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
They're hoping the city will take some responsibility and contribute to the cost, but from what they've seen so far, the only thing eroding faster than their cliff is their confidence that any help from the city is on the way. In Ocean Beach, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Well, coming up next, a man in Hillcrest gets his card stuck in an ATM skimmer. We'll show you how to stop yourself from becoming a victim to this. Welcome back. Tonight we are hearing from a Hillcrest man who has a warning about card skimmers after he says he found one while using an ATM. CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez is working for you and shows us how you can avoid becoming a victim of skimming.
The man says he was using an ATM, and when he pulled his debit card out of the card reader, a device was stuck to his card. Take a look.
And that was what was pulled out of the green card reader.
Stephen Schneer says he was using an ATM inside CVS on Washington and 3rd in Hillcrest. That's when he noticed something strange, that his card was getting jammed in the machine.
Upon removing my card, that reader or swiper came out of the ATM. And I'm like, well, this is weird. It's a card-shaped device that wasn't visible. It was all the way in the machine originally.
He says he reported it to the employees. Next, he posted to Nextdoor to warn his neighbors. He was surprised by the comments he saw.
A couple of people that had used this actual ATM here found out their card was locked or blocked, or anonymous use was found on their records.
Just a few weeks ago, the El Cajon Police Department warned of a rise in card skimmers, with more than 20 found in the past 6 months.
Those skimmers are being placed on ATM machines at banks, at your local retailer.
There are things you can do to stay vigilant. The FBI says ATM skimmers usually go over the card reader, but can also be installed inside machines, making them difficult to detect. Pinhole cameras can be installed to record your PIN, or keypad overlays are put on top of the keypad. The agency recommends wiggling the card reader and pulling the edges of the keypad. Steven says he'll do what he can to be more cautious.
Probably use a different ATM, but those readers could have been put in any ATM, brand name banking or 24-hour ATM machines.
Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
Jasmine, thanks. Time now for working for your wallet. Where do you think most people moving to San Diego are coming from? According to Redfin, Los Angeles homebuyers searched San Diego more than other metros. San Francisco and Dallas round out the top 3. As for people leaving San Diego, Las Vegas was the most popular destination, followed by Phoenix and Nashville. But overall, Redfin says 71% of homebuyers in San Diego search for homes to stay here. Many Americans are concerned about saving enough money for retirement, and inflation is playing a big role in these calculations. According to a recent study from Northwestern Mutual, U.S. adults believe that they will need about $1.5 million to retire comfortably. That's 53% more than people thought they needed just 4 years ago. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger shared some tips for saving for the future.
Your spending, you look at your saving, you look at how long you're probably going to live, and you plug into one of these retirement calculators.
Okay.
Here's what I got. It's going to say, you're not doing enough. And then you've got a series of choices. Do I work longer? Do I spend less? And one that I love, do I create an off-ramp for myself? Do I work really hard till I'm 55, 60 years old, and then try to do something for another 5, 10, 12 years that really makes me happy, brings in some money, but doesn't actually exhaust me?
According to the study, U.S. adults have saved an average of $88,000 for retirement. More than 4 million Americans turned 65 this year, and that's the largest surge to date of people hitting the traditional retirement age. Right now, taxpayers are turning to AI for help. According to a survey by cardrates.com, nearly 1 in 5 Americans say that they would trust ChatGPT, a popular AI chatbot, to review their income taxes. 14% have already used it for their taxes. The IRS has been using AI chatbots to help answer basic questions since 2022, but experts say AI should not be used for personalized tax recommendations because it's currently not as accurate as tax software or a financial professional. Well, that's going to do it for us. Remember, if there is something that you would like us to look into, you can email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Thanks for joining us right here on CBS 8. We'll see you next time.